because we said, let's come up with this $1 million challenge to ourselves, and we'll do what our customers do. We'll start from scratch. We won't count any of our existing sites. We'll start from absolutely zero, and we will use all of our own tools, all the stuff that we provide. We'll document the process, and if we can put all that together, that this could become that sort of fly on the wall training, right? Where you have a seat at the table with us, because that's what people said they wanted. They wanted to sit down and work on it with us. They wanted to look over our shoulder. They wanted to just work arm in arm with us to try and develop this. So we thought, like I said, we'll start where most of our folks start from nothing and from no sites, and we'll use all our own tools. We'll spend no money except for domains and hosting. We won't do any PPC to reach our goal. Okay, there's plenty of good reasons to do pay-per-click, but we'll wait on that and the reason is not because pay-per-click's bad. We think it's great. We love it, but because most people don't want to do that right away. Because of the risk involved and the expense involved. And we will build $1 million business, and we wanted to do it in 12 months. So this is when we first sat down to think about building $1 million business in 12 months, this is what we thought it would take. This is what we thought it would do. We thought, okay, it'll probably take us about 20 stores. We'll probably look to do and this is kind of our standard look at these niche stores, is get a couple hundred visitors a day, get a 0.5% to a whole percentage conversion rate, get about $90 per sale, and get 20 to 25% profit margin. That gives you $1 million business if you can do this routinely. Okay, so that's what we set out to do, and we said, okay, if we meet the challenge, if we get to the $1 million within 12 months, we're going to put this together and we'll teach it. If we don't, we're never going to tell anyone that we even tried. So that was what we said we would do. Luckily for us and luckily for you, we actually met it. We met it. We met the challenge early. We met it in 8 months. But if we met the challenge and we put all this together, that would kind of be that paint by numbers, hand holding, seat at the table, fly on the wall type training, because it's starting from nothing. And here's all the tools that we used. Here's exactly the process we went through, and this is what we did, right? So we just put all that training together, put all the tools and resources together, put a bow on it, and have people get that, and then sprinkle in domains and hosting, and they can build $1 million business too. Now, this was how we defined $1 million business, because I think this is important. You had to have at least $83,000 in revenue 2 months in a row, and 83,000 times 12 equals $1 million a year, and it can't be Christmas either, because that's really not fair. So we accomplished that before Christmas, so we hit that in 8 months prior to Christmas, as I pointed out. Christmas was much higher. We even had a $9,000 day, and I think that's probably still our highest one single day right now. For these sites that we talked about, we've had e-commerce sites for many years, but this set of sites that we said we're going to start from zero, from scratch on. That's what I'm talking about here. So for us, we started out by saying it's probably going to take 20 sites. It's probably all those numbers I showed you, but the reality was a little bit different. For us, it ended up being 12 sites that got us to that, with about the 200 visitors per day, although spread out rather wildly among those sites. Some got much more, some got much less, and that was kind of a function of when they were developed and at what point of the SEO process they were in, right? Because if it's the 8th month and you just developed something a month ago, it's probably not going to be as high in the ranking as something that you developed in the first month, okay? And one sale that got us there, and we had, and the reason it was different is that we ended up with a much higher dollar value per sale, and most of that was just luck and the sites that we chose to do first and the ones that really hit, because it kind of then skews the numbers a little bit if you have some really good ones that have not only a lot of volume but have very high dollar values per unit. Each thing you sell is an expensive thing, then that makes that average dollar per sale go much higher. We were sort of at the low end of the conversion funnel there, though. We were just below the 0.5%, about 4.48 or something like that, and that kind of goes along with having a higher dollar value, right? If you have the higher the dollar value, the less conversion percentage you're going to have for the most part. And then only 12 of the 20 sites that we developed really contributed, because you don't develop them all at once. We develop them over time, over say 7 months or so. And so again, as I said, the ones that you developed at the tail end of the process, didn't have benefit of the SEO process, so they didn't have the traffic. So we fully expect that this will be much more than $1 million a year business. You know, if we give it a few more months to just bake. So how did we do this? And I really mean it. We're going to show you. I mean, we're going to just go through exactly what we did. It's not. I wish it were more mysterious and a little sexier or something, but it's pretty block and tackle. Just taking a quick drink of water there. We started with that goal and forecast that I gave you. So we said, okay, we know, we think we're going to have to build 20 sites, and these are our traffic goals, and these are our revenue goals, and all that kind of good stuff. So we set a project plan. We just said, okay, let's set up a project plan to accomplish this in 12 months, and which means that we're going to have to have all our sites built in, like, say, 7 months, right? Because if we want to accomplish this within 12 months, we need to have the benefit of having the sites up and running and getting traffic there and working the conversions and all that kind of stuff. So let's set up a project plan to brainstorm the niches. Let's come up with just a bucket full of ideas, potential things that we could build these sites around. For each of those, we need to find keywords that work, right? And by work, I mean we need to find keywords that have enough search volume to make it worth our while to go after, and that we can compete on from an SEO perspective, okay? Because that's what our focus for the traffic is going to be at first. It's going to be SEO. We need to get suppliers for each of the ones that we decide to move forward with. And each of these is sort of a go, no-go decision, right? We come up with a bunch of niches, and we might throw one out because, well, it's a Halloween niche. It's seasonal. We kind of want something that's all year round, so we'll throw that one out. So that doesn't pass the go, no-go. Maybe we then get to one that passes the go no-go decision at that point, and we start to do keyword research, and we say, or we find out, you know what? There's just not enough volume, search volume. It's not a popular enough niche. It's not worth our effort. Or it's popular enough, but it's way too competitive. It's going to be too much effort to try and SEO our store. So we won't go through there. Then the next thing you have to get through is suppliers, right? So can we find good suppliers that not only are good suppliers that will drop ship, but also will give us a decent price so that we can make a good enough margin? Can we make 20-25% margin? If we can't, then maybe we move on to another opportunity, okay? So you might start out with 50 ideas and you end up with 20, that ultimately sort of pass through all these different layers of funnels, okay? Then we get a nice, age domain out of GoDaddy. Maybe spend $30, maybe $50. Go crazy. Go spend $50 on an age domain. We felt like we had a decent e-commerce platform. For many years, we've been using and selling a homegrown e-commerce platform, and we felt that was good, but we felt we could do better. And so we thought, you know what? If we're going to do this this challenge for real, let's put our best foot forward, and let's totally redesign our software platform, our store software platform. So we put that into the project plan. And then, of course, we had to build, 2-3 sites a month, right? Once we have our portfolio of the ones that we want to build, we had to prioritize them and say, okay, we're going to build them out. We're going to put the catalogs together for these sites, and we're going to start to do the SEO. We're going to start to do the link building to get these sites ranked. Then we said, you know what? There's probably some really good opportunities for free traffic from other sources other than SEO, and things like shopping portals. Shopping portals are probably the best example of that. And I was amazed, when we got together and we started brainstorming, we came up with a lot better results and ideas when we had this challenge kind of hanging over our head, because nobody wanted to fail the challenge and have to bury this and never speak of it again. So we took it kind of seriously, and we said, okay, well, what are we going to do? What are the different things that we can do to try and make sure we get good traffic to these sites? And so I was kind of surprised to see that we could get about 10 to 20% of the traffic that